Good afternoon. We are back with an attempt to actually implement some of this stuff that I've been working on these last few days, getting images in place. I did spend a little time today trying to get a simulator that actually matches my current. So you see this. This is a simulator, but this is a Fold 2. I have a Fold 5, slightly bigger, I believe, than the Fold 2. But I couldn't get it to work. So I have it here. I went through all of AI's guidance. Add it here. It'll automatically appear in the list. And voila, look, see, it's not in the list. Just Fold 2. And I thought, well, maybe it's just under Galaxy, but it is not. It just doesn't exist. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's not that big of a deal. Eventually, I'll get around to emulating. So anyway, I did put a bunch of images in my app, or into PFFM Go MS. They're all under League. And that was what I did yesterday. I've got about half the teams. I think I've got 20 some logos and 16 character images, which aren't, they're images that I hope to base the actual models on once I get to getting all the models. Currently, I've only got one model in the system, which is the lizards, and it's not even the lizard model that I want to use. It's just the one that I first created. And it was kind of cool, but it was just not quite right. I think ultimately it comes down to figuring out how to do meshes and textures and all that garbage and stuff I don't know how to do. But I'm not worried about that right now. Let's see about getting this loaded. So the first thing you're going to do when the game starts is it's going to build a league for you. And assuming that all does exactly like it's supposed to, it'll create. And then it's going to dump those players out onto our announcements board. I don't know if I want to call you an owner, a GM. So yeah, I don't know how to. I mean, because you're a little bit of everything, right? You can be a coach, you can be a GM, you're an owner. You're probably more an owner than anything. But you're gonna be wearing all the hats. you're gonna you're gonna wear all of the job titles: manager, coach. Well, you're not really coach. You'll be a GM at best. You might be able to do a coaching mode where you get a coach, but that's kind of like it's just like you're the substance going on in between everything. And I guess giving you an actual title. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, so first thing I got to do is I have my card prefabs. So I'm going to have to create probably a secondary prefab that that I'll be loading. So I have my content container here, and I got my announcement panel, which is basically where everything's going to be. I got my team selection panel here. But in my scroll view, which doesn't have but a viewport, in the container, I guess, that's going to hold all the stuff. I need to identify how I want this to do. Fixed column count. Yeah, 2 columns will work. But I think I need to create a new prefab. I need another prefab that's going to add my players, my team captains to it. So we'll call it, let's go to my prefabs here. I guess I'll just go new, say, create Can I just create a prefab, or do I have to? What are these called? It is a prefab asset. So how do I create a new one? Create materials, physics, custom app UI. I guess you can't just create a prefab. Maybe it's I don't know what makes a prefab. Before I just had items, or maybe I have to. Gosh dang it! See, you would think I've done this twice, 3 times now. It says it shows there that I've done 5, but a lot of those are just copy. So how many times have I actually created a prefab? Apparently not enough times, because prefab, look, I found it. All right, team captain. All right, team captain's prefab. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and open this puppy up. Now, in the team captain's prefab, I'm going to need a panel. It's going to be, actually, you know what? It's going to be very similar to all my other panels. It's probably going to be, let's see, game card. All right, let's just add a new panel. I could probably do this without copying. Maybe. I say that I can do that without, we'll call this, because really it's just going to be a couple of things. It's going to be because I want to list them underneath each other, but I want to do it in 2s, and each one of these is going to be, so we'll have this be the team captain's panel and dash panel. And I think I need to add into this panel probably a scroll view again. It's just going to be 2. I think I need to add a scroll view. I should probably just have it. I should probably just ask AI to tell me how to do it, because really I'm just guessing. I mean, it's not the best way to go, but if I just sit here and guess, then I do it wrong. If I can remember how to do it. I mean, I guess, you try not to be lazy and try to learn how to do this stuff correctly. Do it without the help of AI sometimes, So we're going to add, which I think is, if I were to mimic another one, I don't think I can just go straight to scroll view though. So the team captains, I might just need a horizontal layout. No, that's for objects that you're putting in. All right, let's go with scroll view. And then all right, I guess I'm gonna have to mimic stuff, because I have to copy how these other ones did it. So I do have like my playbook panel here, and that one has the full panel, left scroll. Oh no, that's the scrolls. I don't want to mess with the scrolls. Left scroll, right scroll. Oh wait, full scroll has the content. This is what I'm on. So content, and then we have the unit filters. That's the unit filter panel. This is the playbook. Available plays. Okay, so that's one I want. Let's just say I'm mimicking the available plays. So we have the available plays panel, which is essentially all I need. And then I have a text, and I do have a scroll view. Okay, so if we're going to just have it be that, we'll have a scroll view and then a viewport, available plays container. Hey, Viva. How's work?
All right.
Yeah? Well, you're almost through the week. Okay, so We've got available plays. Okay, so I got a view. Do I have to add a viewport, or is that already in that? So we'll go. We have the. I need to add a text. Do I need to add a text to the? What do I need it to say? I think I just need to have room for the game cards, because that's all it's going to be is player cards. Scroll view. What's in the scroll view already? Oh, okay. So there's a viewport already in there, and it's already got a. I don't really need the scroll bars, horizontal and vertical, because those aren't going to be needed. Let's rename this to Captain's dash. What is? It's so long a term. Let's go SB scroll view. I know I'm not going to know what SV stands for, but we'll have to deal with it. All right, so let's see about getting this thing down here into my view range here. Why is this so big? Okay, so we got the panel, and then we got our scroll view, and then the scroll view is, I gotta define what the viewport is. You got to bear with me because I'm really just trying to do this on my own, AI free for this particular piece, just to see if I can do it, you know. So let's see. I know there's a spot where it's supposed to tell you the columns. Do I need to? No, I'm going to end up going to AI pretty soon. I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing this, but it's just trying to see if I can get through it. Oh, it looks like I was already creating this. Do I need, well, the thing is, I wanted to be able to add, I just want it to be the two pieces. So maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I don't need, no, I need to. I don't know why I did it that way, but I can't do it that way. Because each set of captains is its own response. And if I just throw them in there and just like list them all, like just make a columnar, two columnar, whatever I'm doing, it's not going to look right, or it's not going to function right. So these guys are not going to, this is not going to fly. Now I do have this panel, and in here I'm going to have a viewport, which will allow me to put the, this is the container that those are going to go in, but what is the container? That must be the grid layout. Oh, it's a grid layout group. Ah. And this is the viewport. So I need to add a grid layout group. Or that is a grid layout group, but I don't know what this is. It's just some kind of a content size fitter. There's nothing in that right now. Oh, so this is where my stuff's going to go. And it's going to have two columns, which is right. So essentially I need my thing to probably be set up in the same way as that container is, because I'm just having a sub container. I'm just going to be adding this little sub piece. And so I need a grid layout group, and I guess that's just a game object, because it doesn't really say what it is, because I don't know what I did, but it's probably just a generic game object. So let's take these out. Wait, what is this? Oh, maybe that's what that is. So my viewport, I'm going to get rid of these. I'm not going to need any scrolling. There's not going to be any scrolling on this. But the content needs to have a I may be doing this wrong. I just wanted to have, I want to be able to load 2 players in it. Now I could theoretically just put the 2 players. Oh, you know what? That's true. I don't. And then populate them. Oh. I have player cards. But if I put 2 player cards in it, then I just have to populate them. I don't even have to load them. I just grab it and then set. I got to see what the best way to do this is. I don't know the answer. Okay, so. All right, so let's ask AI, just because I'm not sure the best way to do this, and I'm hoping AI can give me some pointers. So let's see. I have a in the game I am developing. You always wonder how much context you need to give it, right? I am adding in. All right, I am generating a new league and displaying displaying 2 players from each team in a scroll view. The user will then select one of those pairings and selecting which team they want. To take control. I am trying to create a prefab that will hold the 2 players. You know what? This is not even going to be just the team captains. This is going to be more than the team captains, because I want this to be the full object. So all I have to do is load up these objects, and each one is going to be populated. That will hold the 2 players. I have a player card prefab that I will load for each player into each pairing prefab. I think what I'm gonna do is, as I think this through, I'm gonna actually call this, rename this. We're gonna call this team selector? No, team how about new team summary? Yeah, I'm gonna call it new team summary because it's gonna be more. I think it's gonna be everything I want for this team. Like it's gonna be I want to add some extra details. It's not going to be just the team captains. It'll have team captains, but it'll have like the team's current salary cap, and at some point I'm actually thinking the final version of this is not even going to be. You'll have team captains. You'll get a pick who you'll get a look at it, but each team will already be assigned to a team name. You get to pick which team name you want, but I'm trying to give a little flexibility right now because right now I'm thinking let the player just have whatever team name they want. Like if you want to be whatever, because if you know who these teams are, your allegiances might want you might want to play that team. Like I know who the V-Born Scorned are, and I would want to be the V-Born Scorned because I would want to own that team and run that team. But I wanted to be able to pick the players that are going to be in it, sort of. You're only picking the team captains, but the other players just come along for the ride. But that said, I'm thinking I have a thematic strategy to how I want to do this, but I may or may not implement it. It might be more work than it's worth. It may not be what I want to do. Maybe I'll have that as an option at a later time, like a different style of team start. I don't know, because right now if I were to try to do like I couldn't do easily I mean, I guess I could try, but like, I couldn't do a single team from 2009. Some teams, yes, but see, not every player qualifies to be in the league, in the game, because some of them just don't have any information that I can utilize. Players need at least one valid game in a season of play. Rambo, dude, long time no see, man. Are you letting yourself just get out of shape, or am I just missing you every time I go to the gym? You traveling the world and just becoming a jet setter now? Now that you've got a hot YouTube channel? I'm trying to figure out the best way to lay out my my player imports on these team captains. Well, that's good, man. I know you were working pretty hard back when I last chatted with you. You said you had a lot going on.
Connected to active Amon Gamers chat.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really trying to get them going. I'm trying to keep them thematically the same, but I am not an artist, so I'm doing it all with AI. And I'll tell you what, anybody who tells you that using AI is not work, they have not used AI to generate crap. Oh God, it's frustrating as heck. It's kind of like, it's like working with somebody who's a very skilled 5-year-old. Like a 5-year-old who's talented in art, but they just don't get it. You're like, no, just do this. It's like, oh, you want me to do this? Like, no, do this. No, I asked you to do this. Oh, you want me to do this? No, that's not it. You could be as specific as you want. Every AI has its own tendencies too. I mean, things that it does. Like, for example, if I want to do fantasy, I say fantasy or medieval or anything that's got that kind of Lord of the Rings-ish feel, no matter what terminology you use medieval or like I say, fantasy or Lord of the Rings, you use any of those kind of terminologies on AI and on ChatGPT, which is also Sora. If you use it on those, you will always get that yellow gold kind of background, like you see on my screen here. When I turn off this announcements panel here, so you get this yellow goldish coloring, and it doesn't matter what you're working with. You get this, and I keep telling it, don't put the yellow hue on there, or I just want a fantasy styling like buildings and stuff like that. Like if you were actually there, it wouldn't have a yellow gold hue. It would you might have those buildings or cottages, that kind of view, but you can't get it. You can't use those terminologies in ChatGPT. It keeps doing this. And I'm like, no, stop it. Oh yeah. Another thing that AI can't do, none of them. I have not found an AI yet that can generate a football field. They can't do it. They all have no idea what a football field is. They all put together something like you see here on this image. See, this goalpost is like inside the end zone. This one over here is in the back. This one's really tall. That one's short. This one's actually in the right place at least. And this one is, but you can see it has this circle in the middle. That actually belongs to soccer. Only soccer puts a circle in the middle. That's not a football. You can see it's not actually in the middle. Honestly, this one's pretty close, only in that it looks like it has close to the 10 lines or so, or 20 lines that you see on a football field. But most of them will not put the right number of lines. When they try to put numbers on the field, you get things like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50, 40, 40, or 10, 40, 50. I mean, the numbers are just all screwed up. And they're never in the right place. You never get 100 yards. You get like 60 yards, 50 yards. They just don't know. It's almost like there has to be a way. And at some point they'll do this. They'll start adding ways to do this. But like that you can train AI that when you say American football field, these things are required. It has to be this, but everything else can be played with. Like you can change the grass, the surroundings, the feel of the surroundings, but you have to have X, Y, Z. And I don't know that AI has that yet. It doesn't have the logic of these are required elements, everything else is new. Yeah, you have to. And I think ultimately what I'm going to end up doing, like I have a football scene that I created the correct lines and I dropped it on there. And I'll probably have to do that. I'll create something, I'll create a scenic, and then I'll just take textures from Unity and put textures in for the grass. I am not an artist in any way, shape, or form, so I am going to be using AI everywhere I can. But I'll have to create the base structure of the field. And AI is getting smarter and better. It does do some pretty cool things. I mean, the images it's given me aren't bad. But honestly, I'm almost thinking that this image here, as much as I think it's kind of cool, it's too much because I don't think I need all of these buildings. And I think what I'm going to go with is a different strategy of just creating buildings and then creating a blank landscape and sticking all the buildings on the landscape. So I'm basically trying to get just a scenery that's just trees, and then I'll drop my objects on it, and then I can click on those objects, and that could be a navigation, which I think is really cool when games do that. I like that kind of setup. I'm doing that on my React website. I basically put a bunch of I took this image and I put a bunch of transforms, so on my website I can click on all this stuff. Yeah, and at some point, yeah, as you know, I've been unemployed for a little while, so that's but once I get closer to the end, like right now, I'm just making AI do the trick. Eventually I settle on what it is. When I get closer to a finished product and it's time to start getting this thing, optimized visually and cleaned up and coolinized. I think that's a word, right? Coolinized. I'll probably then just go in and start, maybe I'll even pay some people if I can get lucky and get a Kickstarter to succeed once I have a nice, that's what I'm working on, trying to get my demo. I want to get a demo in before the end of the year. I want to get my first demo. It's going to be basic. It's not going to have all the functionality, but I'm at that stage now where I finally created all of my back-end functionality. Well, not all of it, but all of the stuff required for a demo. And then now I'm trying to work on loading all that stuff. So that's what this image you saw here is, me trying to set up this board. Because what happens is a player's going to come in, they create their account, and then it'll create a league for them, and they'll go here. And this is where they'll select their team, and it'll show who their team captains are. They get to pick which team they want. They'll click on it, and then it'll take them to, I'm probably going to it'll take them to a page that'll let them pick their logo and their team name, and then it'll set up all the teams, and it'll take them straight to a simulation screen for my demo. Eventually, I'll take them straight to the roster page, and then that's where they can do their game plan and do all that stuff. And I have a game plan set up. I've got playbooks set up, but they're not all connected yet. So I want to take the shortest route to the end point, and that's going straight from, you have a team, let's simulate, let's play against another team just to kind of see how it goes. And that's what I want to get going. And then I'll start filling in the gaps. Right. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get all of the basic UI stuff going now that I've gotten all the back end stuff in place. Time's running out for me to hit my deadline. I wanted to actually have a demo by the end of, first it was the 1st of September. But the deeper I go into ironing out all the pieces that go from A to Z, because I kept saying, all I want, this is the only thread I want, create an account, generate a league, get your team, simulate a game, have it start up a game, and hopefully get to the end of a game, even if it's just basic plays running all the time. And there's not going to be any, I'll have my models on there, but they won't be animated. They'll just be sliding up and down the field. That's my goal, just bare minimum. This is the end-to-end point. So create an account, play a game. That's it. Well, there's a lot of parts in there. And I thought I was much closer than I was, but I've kind of gotten the players. Finally got all the players imported working. I finally got a player generating, because I have to create the player pool out of the stats. So I had to create all the stat skills. So it went import players, get the import working, build the skills, get the skills all working. Then I had to get the ratings and get the ratings working. Then I had to get a salary going so that it calculated off of those ratings. And then those all had to be used to generate leagues. So I had to create a league generator, which went and so I had to create an account that created the leagues. A service that handled all the league generation. Finally, I got the league generating engine going. Click on that. So now it generates a league by reading through all the players and pulling the right requirements. And I had to define all of the positions and everything that were going to be required. Got all that. Found a lot of flaws in my player stuff. Had to go out and massage and clean up, get the right data in there, go back, kind of back and forth a lot. Cleaned it all up. Finally got my engine running, or my league creation running. It's cool. I tell it how many teams I want, what the salary cap is, and just have it to click on it, and it generates that many teams that under those salary caps, which is pretty cool. And so now I say, all right, I have teams. Now I have to go to the UI and start setting up the calls and the pieces that are going to allow the user to go through and start interacting with those teams that are created. Then finally, when I get that, I'll go to the simulator and start working on all the ins and outs and get all the pieces of the simulator working. Once I've got a simulator working, well, they are my errors. No, they're not my flaws. I don't make errors. They're AI's flaws. AI screws up. I have to iron out all the things AI does wrong. And of course, maybe there's a slight, tiny chance I may not have given it the right instructions at points. Because as I go along, I'm finding that I don't know all the instructions. I mean, really, as I'm developing this, I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm going to need this. Oh, I'm going to need that. Oh, I should have probably told it to do this. It's kind of like, you're developing and designing. Anybody who tells you can do a game design document for a complex game at the beginning and have it be the Bible is just delusional. There's just no such thing. Anybody who spends too much time on a game design document at the beginning of a game is just almost just wasting time. Because even though I am pretty much stayed completely within my mental scope of what I want, all of the inner workings of making what I want come to life, all of those pieces, there is just so many smaller pieces that a game design doc couldn't have called out for me. I mean, I suppose if I wanted to spend 6 months on a game design doc and laying out all the pieces and thinking about it, yeah, but I'd rather just go develop the thing and come up with, have that map itself out in time. So, yeah, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And I always, oftentimes I'll start when I'm in the UI here and I'll start designing something and I'm like, as I start going more and more, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. It's like you just get there and you're like, oh, after all that, yeah, throw that out, go back to the drawing board. Every now and then I get there. I haven't had to throw out any of my major parts because I usually think those through pretty good, but it's the small stuff, how, like one of the biggest things my original thought was I was just going to be creating a league. Boom, you have your stuff and you just start going. I'm like, oh, there's so many more parts. Yeah, you can't just do that. There's all these other things. I got to tie the user to the team and the team to the league, and the playbooks have to be connected. And I was having users get created and they would automatically get a team. And then I thought, well, eventually I'll just assign it to a league. That doesn't work because then when you create the league, you have to do this thing where you're filtering out players and you don't use. And I was like, that's a dumb way to do it, Ken. Go back. No, create the league first, and then you can let the player pick their team. But at least you have a valid league with players aren't being duplicated necessarily. There's a lot of other things I had to think through. Like I was going to do anagrams for all the players. Oh, that would have been a mistake. It is hard to do anagrams. I got it done for all the teams, but yeah, not doing that for the players. So what I decided to do is I still need them to associate to real players in some way, but since I can't use real teams or real player names, I'm gonna scramble the names. Scramble them shuffle the names. I'm gonna let them keep their last names, but I'm gonna shuffle all the first names. And I even thought I might just shuffle them within the team. So it's like the Broncos, for example, they have Bo Nix. Well, the same guy will be something Nix, but he'll get the first name of someone else on the team, and the whole team will just be scrambled. So all the names will be on the team, but they'll be scrambled. Only the last names will be correct and the position that they play in and that kind of stuff. Of course, all my characters don't look human. They're all based on, the mascot that I generated from the anagrams. So one of the things I like my game to do, in the end, I would like to build my teams out of what I thought about doing was having everybody, when you start a league, you pick a faction that you want. You don't pick a team, you pick a faction, and you would get a team built off of that faction. So you'd have all of the Scorned or all the lizards, all the lizards, or any one of the other teams out there. But you would get all the same. So your whole team would be the same. But as you draft and trade and interact with the other teams, your team will start to become more diverse in who's on the team. It just because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have it start out where you start with all players of the same faction, not necessarily the same team. Oh yeah. No, I've learned so much. So much. I mean, I can almost I can almost write a Go service without the help of AI now because I've learned. But the thing is, it's so many parts. I'd probably forget a bunch of parts. I'm starting to understand Go syntax, but but when I'm doing it, Unity C Sharp and Go language and React language and what it's called YAML, which I use for Docker, and then whatever the heck that language is that GitHub's using. I think it's using some form of YAML also. And then there's so many tools and bits and parts. I think really what I'm doing is I'm just learning getting familiar with all the stuff, understanding and being aware of what it can do, where it's at, finding its limitations. But I still use AI codes a lot for me, and I fix a lot of what AI does. I'll go into the code, change it, tweak it, and because I understand coding in general well enough. I've been doing it for 20 years that I can edit the code. I can go in and understand its process and clean up stuff, see where it's flawed, where it's duplicating, and then I'll either have AI fix certain things if they're kind of more work than I want than I feel like I'm comfortable doing, or I'll get in there and just tweak it myself, clean it, fix it up. I'll dump stuff and clean up this or that, or if I see there's a lot of problem areas, I'll tell AI, look, these items are redundant or replicative in some way. Can you straighten these out, clean them up, and give me your plan of attack first before you do anything, and then I'll approve it if it's good. So then it'll show me everything that it plans to do, and I'll look at it and go, okay. And then I'll say, all right, go ahead and implement, and then it'll show me all the files that changed, and I'll go through and step through and go, okay, that's good. Let's go. Oh no, I don't like that, and I'll say, this is not going to work. Got to fix that. So yeah, I'm generally, it's kind of like being a senior developer on a team that's filled with very talented but not not very app aware. Yeah, man. Hey, good stopping by, man. Hopefully I'll see you at the gym at some point. Stay in shape, man. I'll see you next time. Hey, I have checked out your YouTube page too, so it's pretty cool. You guys are doing a lot. You're getting a lot of traveling in there, and you are gaining some pretty good. You're doing pretty well with picking up your subscriber count, so that's good work. You have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, as I was saying, let's go ahead and see about getting this to work correctly. So I need this guy to function correctly, and I was asking AI what I thought about the best way to I have a player card prefab. This is the question I'm putting before AI here to try to see if he can give me an approach that'll be more effective. That I will load for each player into each pairing prefab. Should I add the player card prefab dynamically to the pairing? Or since I know there are only two, should I just put two prefabs in the pairing prefab? Populate them. I'm struggling with this one. I feel like I should just use the cards and put them in. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it does. There is a performance gain in pre-applying the prefabs to the pairing. Plus, that would mean I wouldn't necessarily even need to do a scroll view. I could just put them on the screen. That would probably be better too. All right, let's go with it. I didn't even think about that. That in itself sounds to me like a good reason. I could get rid of this whole bit. All right, so I don't expect this to be, do I want it to be, is there going to be any viewability in this? This is very generic, but I don't think I have any UI coloring. I don't even know if I have a reason to have coloring on it. It's just going to be transparent. And then we're going to get rid of this. Where'd it go? Where's the delete? Oh. All right, so we're just going to do that. Now, what I want on the, we're going to go ahead and add a, well, this is the panel, so it's going to have to be team. Oh, I know, new team. It's a new team summary, team option. That's what I want. I want to call option, not new team. Team option summary. I like that better. Option, because new team. It's like it is a new team, but it's an option. It's a team option. We're gonna team panel. All right, we're just gonna call it that. Now in this panel, we're gonna go ahead and add a text because. Oh, I keep thinking I want to change my names of my players already. Because right now, I want them to have the new names, the new scrambled names. And I should probably scramble them when they go into the player pool. Which means I have to give them a game name and I have to create, I'm going to see if and I think I'm going to scramble them by team. So I am going to go here. I'm going to still do my thing, but I'm going to see if I can get AI to start working on this for me. So, I need a new function that will run after the, let's see, let's call it the create system players. I think it's called create system players. After the create, let's see, it will run as the last step in the create system players function of the player skills service. The job of this function will be to shuffle all the players' first names into a new field found only in the player. Cool. See, the problem is, see, once all these players are in, it's gonna be I gotta be careful about what I'm doing here. Because once all these players are in the system, into the player pool, they're kind of stuck there. I can't change them. First names into a new field. player will have a name field, which is the original source name, i.e. Linux, and a game name field, which would be newly generated name. The way I want this to work will be to take work will be pretty basic. Every player keeps their last name. So like, if you have a triple name, Dominique Rogers Cromartie is the one I'm thinking of. So is it going to be Bob Rogers Cromartie, or is it Dominique Rogers Nix? In other words, are we keeping all the last parts? I can't help but think we're going to have a problem, but I think I'm going to go with just the last name. Just the last piece of their name. I don't know who that's going to screw up things for, but some people it's going to be weird. And the thing is, it won't be hard to know, right? I mean, well, if it's Dominique, if you see Dominique Rogers Nix, it's, well, for one, Dominique Rogers Cromartie did not play for the Broncos, so that will never happen. But I'm just saying, if you have that, it would be like whoever their last name, because only the last name matters. But I'm worried that there's going to be some that the last name piece is not complete. Like it's not the whole name. I know somebody's going to have some weird name that the last piece just doesn't sound right by itself. You know, like it requires the middle name or something. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Every player keeps their last name. But the rest of the name is swapped with another player on the same team. Based on the players. FFM, player pool, document, player team. Okay, this way I want this. The way I want this to work will be pretty basic. Every player keeps their last name, but the rest of the name is swapped with another player on the same team based on the players.team value. So we're going to do a think deeply on this. Think deeply on how to do this in the most efficient manner you can. All players name that is different from their original source name. Original source player.name. All players must get a nickname. Don't know. I think that's all I need. Let's try it. We're going to let AI kind of like mull this over. Now, did it just break? It's not even thinking. What are you doing, AI? Hello? What just happened? Hello? Hello? I don't know what just happened. Is it like, hello? What has happened? It's like it's not doing nothing. All right, I don't have any. I'm not broken, am I? I'm not like used up all of my. Okay, so the other day I tried to run something on my YouTube thing, and not my on my YouTube stream updater, YouTube stream live updater that I created that allows me to change the metadata on my stream while it's running, locally. But it got stuck. I tried to give it a command and it goes, I don't know what to do with that, and it just sat there and spinned. And I wonder, did it like use up the rest of my thing? I'm kind of worried about that. Let's see, we'll find out in just a minute. No, I'm only at 60%, so it's not bad. I don't know what's going on here then. This is, I don't know what it's doing. All right, so let's take this, Control X. I'm gonna close and reopen because I don't know what's going on. So I am planning on, ooh, look at that. We got the whole broke in my hand. We got the whole broke. All right, let's see here. Can I do this now? And we'll let it finish building here. All right, there is something going on with my chat or my my AI. I've been planning to get a second one. I've been thinking I want to get Bezzy, but Bezzy can't see all my code. It can only see Unity. And I've been thinking I want to get Claude Code. That's what this is all about. Just so that for one, so I can have a backup, because you can see this is totally not working anymore. Right now, it's just not having a good day. What if I paste this? Now I can't even click. I don't know what it's doing. Maybe because I said think deeply and it's just like frozen. I'm going to